Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My producer Joey is interesting to say the least. Say hi to Joey first off, everybody, and if you can hear us, let us know in the chat with VV Nation loud and clear. Before we get started, I want to make sure the alert hits because I got a proud father moment that I've got to share with VV Nation today. So I want the alert to hit before I get started. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. That's correct. And guess what? Who did that?
Oh, I lost OBS.
Okay, there you go. All right. And I got something over here too. There you go. Okay, there you go. You got them both. All right. So yeah, I got a proud father moment that I've got to announce today. But I want the alert to hit because I need all of VV Nation to know about this proud father moment. Said tomorrow's Friday the 13th. Yes, Steve Chappell, Jim Penna, and myself will be on our way to Atlanta. I already know that Mark is going. All right, so that's good. Anybody else in VV Nation going to the Atlanta live event tomorrow? Type of one in the room. I need if everybody else is going. If anybody else is going. All right. Hi, Furby. Mark Norton, Glenn must have put a lot of pressure on Powell. I didn't do nothing. I didn't even call him. I didn't even call him. So I need to call him. Can I clear the chat, Joey?
Yes, sir.
All right. So did the alert hit? Tomorrow's Rize's birthday too. Rize may be watching. Happy birthday, Rize. She's awesome in our product support. She's awesome in our product support. All right, the alert did hit. How many people here? 111. All right, so with that, so here is my proud father moment today. What bar are we meeting at tomorrow? The hotel bar. Steve said that. Steve says Mark will know where to find us. Says what? Mark will know where to find us. Glenn, where can we make some money in this market? David, I got some stuff for you. All right. So today was a happy sad day because I had to take my daughter, who's in the Air National Guard, to the airport. She's deploying, and she's on her way to parts unknown. I'm not allowed to tell you, nor am I allowed to tell you for how long she's going to be gone. But I want everybody in VV Nation to just type something because I want my daughter to see this live stream. I want my daughter to see this live stream. And I want her to know that VV Nation is behind her 110%. All right. So thank you, Joey. Joey just put something and he couldn't even spell it right. All right. There it is.
That's how you said it. You said I want everybody to type something.
So there you go. Thank you, Boston, for that. So it was a happy, and I will not confirm nor deny that there were tears that fell, nor will I confirm nor deny where the tears came from. All right, so I'm just putting that out there. All right, and I agree. Thank you very much for thanking her for her service. Everybody knows that I'm a Marine. I met all of her Air Force people there, and I said, I've never been around this many Air Force people. I'm a Marine, and they just laughed. So, all right, thank you for that. I just wanted everybody to, I know T, you know, I wanted everybody to just know that I had an extremely proud father moment this morning. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Be safe and best wishes. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody in VV Nation. I want her to see this live stream and see the comments. All right. So with that, man, what's going on in the market today? Good, googly muggly. Inflation news came out. The market said, hey, and then the market said no. And the market has just been going down. I'm going to switch over to, dagnabbit, that's not what I meant to do. I'm going to switch over to the program real quick. There it is. That's intraday. Intraday 1 minute bars. That's the market today. So with all of that being said, Akshaya actually sent me an email. I was asking, is it all right to go into the market? And I said, the system said yes. All right. The system said yes. But I think that even in the Jockey Club, Steve and I both had some semblance of, the DEW never kicked off. We got the primary wave. We did have a green light, all of that kind of stuff. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph real quick. All right, look at that. That's a big, let me move this over. It's a big down day. Now, something else that we've been talking about for the time as well is that we do have, even while the market was going up, we said that we had some downside to the level of about 54.87. There's a level of support. We had that, but you can't fight the market. The market said that it was okay. We initiated a bottom fishing. Oh no, that's not the number, is it? I don't think that's the number. Hold on, where's the wick? There we go. That's the number. The number is at 53.39. How did we get to that number? We looked at the distance between the head in the head and shoulders pattern down to the neckline. All right, let me move that up. We looked at the distance between the two, and that's where we came up with the possible downside from that point all the way down. Now I got to move it. All the way down, let me move it up a little bit, to about 53.86. So the market already had built in some downside based on the bearish head and shoulders pattern. All right. So with that, is this a surprise? Well, no. We had the hammer. Let me zoom in now. We had the hammer. We had the bump up. It took a day for it to run. It ran for a couple of days. And then the news came out today about CPI. Market didn't like it. And now the reality is coming in that we could have some more downside to the market. So for anybody out there is saying, well, I trusted VectorVest and it said it was time to get in, and then the market didn't flip over. We have been talking about another market timing signal to give us some more confirmation, and that's the DEW. The DEW is our technical timing signal. And even, look at this. When we ran up here, the DEW never turned green. We ran up here, the DEW never turned green. So that was what we were really looking for the purposes of really confirming the market. And by way of market timing, we were able to keep our subscribers at least, fine, take what the market gives you. Got an upturn? Fine, take it. But look at that. See that, how that went up? Big down day. See how that went up? Big down day. See how that went up? Big down day. The market is not following through with these bounces up. Plain and simple. Do you have short-term moves? Absolutely. Can you take advantage of those short-term moves? Absolutely. But man, this is, I made the video. It says, I'm tired of messing with this market. I'm going to take what the market gives me. The market gave me an opportunity to go make some money. Now the market's taking it away. This is why stops are important. This is why confirmation is important. All right, so we got a green light. We got a primary wave up. But man, it just didn't feel right. I've been saying that this market just doesn't feel right for the longest time as well. Lee says, it's a surprise to me, but we're coming into support. Well, are we really looking at the longer term based upon the head and shoulders pattern, Lee? This is where true support is based on the pattern. All right, what are those short-term moves? That's just the market feeling itself. All right, news comes out, market moves up. I'm not going to, something to a certain degree, Roger, it doesn't matter what the short-term moves are. The market gave us opportunities to make money. And then, this is what stops are for. We got out. Opportunity to make money. Got out. Opportunity to make money. Got out. The day Powell says he's done raising is when it feels right. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So I wanted to talk about what was going on in the market, and I'm going to go to my news articles, and I'm going to, if anybody's willing or wanting to know what happened. The Dow drops more than 200 points as yields rise, and it goes into the consumer price index increased 0.4%. Well, inflation is still a problem, right? A month over month, 3.7 from a year ago, according to labor. Treasury yields rose on the back of the report. The benchmark 10-year rate moved nearly 10 basis points higher to 4.695. The 2-year Treasury yield was at 5.06. When those two things when they get really together, or when the 2-year goes higher than the 10-year, that's not good. All right. And I think that that's what's going to happen to a certain degree with the regional banks as well. Yields recently hit a 16-year high, rattling stocks earlier this month. The 10-year Treasury yield traded above 4.8. And right now we're at 4.69. All right. Roger says, I agree with you. However, I'm on the wrong side of the move. It's highly volatile. So there is an indicator that talks to us about volatility. And I'm going to put that on real quick. And that's the VIX. I'm going to add in the VIX. With the war that kicked off in Israel, the VIX has just been on the rise. Look at that. We have 17.98. When the VIX gets to a value of about 20, we've got high volatility in the market. All right. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. And there it is. The volatility of the market is volatile. And look at the VIX is picking up, the 3 and the 8. I added another moving average on my 3-8 lookout. I'm adding the 20-day simple moving average, which is designed to show trend. And Roger, look at the trend. Look at the VIX above its trend. More volatility in the market. Plain and simple. Does that make sense with you, Roger? For you, Roger? It fell below its trend, and now it's back above, and the 3 is about to cross above the 8. The market is picking up a lot more fear. All right. Why is the market picking up the fear? All right. Let's get back into that. Inflation. Inflation faster than forecasted in September. That's in and of itself an issue. What else? The Fed minutes show officials divided on future rate hikes. I'm not going to even ask the question in here because I think we'll be split in regards to, does the Fed raise on the next, what did you just do? There you go. Joey and I talked about this poll. There's a lot of you guys that come here that are not a part of the VectorVest system. And we offer it for 99 cents. And Joey said to me, he says, why is it that you guys don't want to take the 99-cent trial? So we put out a poll, and Joey's putting that out there. All right. Roger, if you are not a day trader, you won't understand hourly trading. Ooh. How many people that think that, based upon what you just saw with the VIX, that we're in a trader's market as opposed to an investor's market? Type of 1. How many of you feel that this is a trader's market? Type of 1. How many of you think that this is still a long-term investor's market? Type of 2. Just interested. I'm going to be on the mindset of this is a trader's market, especially because of the move on the VIX. Oil is going to come up in a second, Mukesh. Oil's coming up in a second. So the Fed minutes show officials divided on future rate hikes. How about this, though? U.S. CPI data supports one more interest rate. Now, I agree with that, but as I do a little bit more digging and doing a little bit more thinking about it, the banks aren't going to be able to hold off on this, be able to sit through this. You're raising the interest rates. It's going to hurt the banks. I think I've already told you, I think there's a bank bubble about to pop. All right. I don't know when, but I think that's one of my 5 bubbles. I've got 5 bubbles out there. We are being twisted around tighter than a pretzel, says Ronnie. Well, again, that's why you look at the market timing, you look at the VectorVest system. Short term, do we have an opportunity to make money? Absolutely. Market's taking it right back. But a lot of this is news driven based on the CPI data. How about, so now I want to talk about whether we're in a recession or not. And I have the mindset that the economy is stronger than the Fed wants it to be. Let's start off with, this wasn't leading into what I wanted to lead in yet, but popular retailer moves from Chapter 11 bankruptcy to liquidation. This is an interesting story. Retail bankruptcies have jumped through the first 9 months of 2023 with over 4,500 U.S. businesses filing for Chapter 11. So is the economy slowing down? Yes. Is interest rates hurting beyond the banks, companies? Yes. That's a 61% increase over the same time period last year. More and more companies are folding under the pressure. Jerry says we need to investigate legislative solutions instead of Fed rate increases. Worked in 1982 for a legislative solution. I don't know what other tools can be used to combat inflation. Remember, I'm not an economist, so I don't have all of those answers. I don't. Bank bubblosity coming up soon with earnings. Starting tomorrow. Banks really start reporting tomorrow. Now, talking about reporting, the S&P 500 sector earnings preview for quarter three. At the industrial level, 3 of the 5 industries in the sector are expected to report year-over-year earnings growth led by insurance. We've been talking about a few insurance stocks. Somebody was asking me, give us some stocks. Insurance plays are a good play. 64% in beating their earnings. This industry also expected to be the largest contributor to earnings growth for the sector. If the insurance industry were excluded, the estimated earnings growth rate for the financial sector would fall to 2%. Insurance stocks are a good play. Insurance stocks are a good play. All right, now I'm going to go back to when I was talking about how the economy is still good. Well, I'm going to come back to that. How the economy is still good. I went digging. Personal income. All right, July 2023 was at 0.2%. August went up to 0.4%. People have money to spend, albeit I think it's primarily going on to their credit cards more so than anything. But I wanted to show, is the economy slowing? Well, disposable personal income outlays and savings. This is the personal savings falling. And then you look at the disposable income outlays. And as we look at that, the outlays stronger month over month from June, July, and August. And the disposable income change, the economy is slowing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But then not only is that going on, let's go back. Not only is that going on, the jobs numbers are still good. The economy still has more strength than what the Fed was anticipating it would as it started to raise interest rates. Consumer spending is slowing down. People are maxing out their credit cards. So, John, this graph does show that the economy is slowing, but personal income, a little higher. Personal income increased $86 billion in August. Disposable income went up $46 billion. Money is there. The economy is slowing, but the money is there. And again, I think it's primarily coming from credit cards. And people are getting to a point where the credit cards are being maxed. There's got to be a breaking point where this is going to affect the stock market. Because if people don't have the money to put into the stock market is going to go down on its own. So when I look at the market timing graph, we do have some downside. We keep getting some news that the Fed's not going to raise. Those are those little bursts. I think a lot of that is coming around of the Fed's not going to raise. And then when he doesn't raise, the market doesn't take off, does it? Interesting. We don't want the Fed to raise interest rates, but when he doesn't, where's the money for me to go put into the market? At this point, more and more people are pulling out of the market and getting into putting some money in the bank because they're getting at least some interest on it now. So Ronnie says individuals with multiple jobs is not the same as good job growth. Steve Chappell and I talked about the jobs number. The jobs number was kind of not real. Why? Because it showed a drastic increase in people holding part-time jobs. Why is that important? Well, if companies are under some pressure due to interest rates, what else do you do? If you're not cutting employment, you're going to bring people on part-time so you don't have to pay benefits. And then if you got people who are working multiple part-time jobs, but it's shown in the jobs number as jobs are going on, that's a little deceitful. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Do you agree with that? That it's a little deceitful in the jobs number? Yes or no? I got a side gig too. I'm a DJ, Terrence. I'm a DJ. It's a side hustle. All right. But it's interesting how the big increase in part-time jobs is put into the job number to say, oh, yeah, we're doing great. But, you dig a little deeper, you get that information. All right. So that's enough that I wanted to talk about the market. All right. The rest of the stuff we want to talk about is stocks, whether they're good stocks for you to invest in based on the news or not. Start off with YouTube. How about this? YouTube claims first ever lead over Netflix in teen viewership. Interesting. Huh?
It's kind of hanging on.
All right. Well, why didn't we look at that earlier, Joey? How about that? All right. Cash me outside. Anyway, does that affect Netflix in an awkward way? Maybe. Netflix still has a lot of viewers, a lot of people paying for it. Credit card debt recently reached 1.3 trillion. Lee, I've talked about that in the past as well. And unemployment cuts people out after a certain amount of time, also deceitful. Energy is correct. So teen viewership on social media shows that most teens prefer TikTok, which I hate, and I have a TikTok. Mimi made me get a TikTok. I hate it. But spend more time on Instagram. Well, Facebook and Instagram go back and go hand in hand. All right, let's go to the next story. And this is going to be in tomorrow's video. Stocks like this. Super micro highlights. AI is the next industrial revolution. So a lot of people think that AI is just a fly-by-night, that it's a fad. I don't think that it is. I think more and more people are coming on board with that is not the case. So these stocks are still high on my radar for you, and I'll talk about that in tomorrow's video, tomorrow's 6 p.m. video. The NFL package helped YouTube. Yes, but you would also think, but that's the whole package, and I'm with you, David. I do like that for YouTube. YouTube's not publicly traded, though. All right, that kind of sucks. But that was a big bolster for them. And then on Prime is the only source, I think either Prime in the NFL network, but I know that Prime has the Thursday night game. So there's definitely, from a sports perspective, YouTube is killing it by getting, now they paid a lot of money for that. What are my 5 bubbles? My 5 bubbles are oil, because it's inflationary. It's either going to be really good or really bad. And I was going to talk about oil. Where was that? There it is. In talking about oil, crude stockpiles rose 12.9 barrels last week. I got to play this. Where did that oil come from? How did we miraculously find 12.9 million barrels of oil? Where did that come from? Can anybody give me an answer on that? All right, so oil is one of my 5 bubbles. Banks is a bubble. Credit cards, that's a bubble. Commercial real estate, that's a bubble. And the China economy, that's all 5 of my bubbles. All right, the China economy, because China buys the majority of products and services around the globe. They can't get their act together, that's going to affect economies across the globe. Commercial real estate, people are not being able to effectively get people back into the office. That's wasted space. That's going to be a bubble. Credit cards, we already know that credit cards are starting to get maxed out. That's going to be a bubble. Banks, I still think that the other shoe needs to fall on the banks, especially the regional banks. That's going to be a bubble. And of course, oil. Oil is inflationary. And if oil goes up, I got my issues with oil. But if it does go up, the Fed's still going to have no choice but to raise interest rates. I think oil is being manipulated. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think it's being manipulated. All right, so what a deal. Google paid $1.5 billion for YouTube. I think that was 15 years ago. Google put their hands in the right pot. Didn't they say that there was a surplus of gas? They didn't refine as much. So surplus of gas. Why? Because gas prices are going back up. Inflationary. Gas prices are going back up. Oil prices are going back up. The whole 9 yards. But people are pulling away from the gas station because they're not willing to pay the higher price, which is keeping them at home. So people are not going back to work because it's like, yo, I'm not paying this just to drive and gotta go downtown and sit in traffic and all that kind of stuff. So that I think that's going to lead into the commercial real estate issue. Let's go to the next story. Eli Lilly. Lilly's that help patients with Crohn's disease achieve long-term remission in phase 3 trial. That's going to be a boost for, I think, any big pharmaceutical that's in phase 3 is going to have an opportunity to make some money. What about cost bubbles with home taxes and home insurance like you see in Florida? Remember, I just gave you my 5 bubbles, John. I just gave you my 5 bubbles. Akshaya says, Glenn, Larry Williams says that oil is correlated with the economy. That's not always the case. Oil can be in its own world no matter what the economy is doing. Oil, because it's all about supply and demand. If the demand is high and the supply is low, that is the traditional way of looking at oil. That if the supply is low but the demand is high, oil is going to go up. I still think that we've got a low supply. I don't know how we keep finding all this extra oil. What did you say, Mark? Mark says, what did I ignore? Based on your bank's bubble prediction, should we be buying bank? I'm a big fan that, I should have ignored that. I'm still a big fan of BNKD. It's made a lot of people a lot of money. It had nothing to do with XROF. And I'm still a fan of BNKD as a play. The bearish side of the banks. Energy says, I think oil, like gold, is being manipulated too. I wonder why. I don't have the answer to that. I just think that a lot of the things that should be moving the way that they should be moving are not. I don't like that. Markets are supposed to move stocks. But I think that there is other people's hands in the pot. Look at that. Greg says Bank D up 3.6% today. A lot of people, when we started talking about it, a lot of people made a lot of money. I'm still a big fan of that. Banks is one of my bigger bubbles. How many of you, before I move on, how many of you like the fleece, the VectorVest fleece? It's getting a little cooler. So I wanted to show off some of our fall wear. Love this fleece. It's beautiful. It's so soft, and it's got the VectorVest on here. So, you guys can go to get some merch. Go to, what is it, Joey? www.vectorvest.com/merchandise. Use promo code Glenn23, Glenn with 2 N's, Glenn23. You get 20% off. T says, yeah, send me one. Listen, it doesn't work like that. Just not like that. Companies are handling back the keys now because the work from home company, how did I get this way? Because they don't want to pay the rent. And WeWork is in that space. And no matter what WeWork tells you, they're struggling. I think that no matter what WeWork says, they're struggling. See, why are you going to make me feel bad, T? Why are you going to try to make me feel bad, T? Oil price is only 20 to 30% as a result of supply and demand. Politics is number one. Ooh, Don. Again, I'm not trying to go down that path. I'm not. All I'm saying is that there's other hands in the pot when it comes to oil, and I'm not feeling it. Mark Norton ignoring Glenn is not an option. Joey is his handler, and that. Damn. Joey, are you my handler? Hold on. Let me see.
You want me to answer?
No, I don't want you to answer. Hold on. I got to move this. I can't move this. Oh, there it is. So, I do like the news for Eli Lilly on this drug. I think short term we're going to have some nice move on it. How about this? And I'm not on board with this either. Delta Airlines profit jumps almost 60% after strong summer. Weren't they talking in the summer when oil prices were going up that it was hurting them for jet fuel? I don't know where the strong summer came from either. Did we have such a big uptick in summer travel that I missed? Could be. John, don't even start. I didn't say that. I didn't. No, John. No. I'm putting no. The answer to that is no. Absolutely not. Oh, they can't see it. Oh, we didn't set that up. Oh, they can't see that. No. Got nothing to do with 75% off. Glenn 23 doesn't work at My Pillow because it doesn't work at My Pillow. As writer Alan Moore noted, the truth is far more frightening. No one is in control. The world is rudderless. This seems to explain the chaos in the markets enough to convince me. Interesting, Lauren. Interesting. Monster increase in the auto workers' strike against Kentucky. Ryan put out a video about that, a short video on that today. Hopefully you guys had an opportunity to see that. Oil build is not as bad as it sounds on the surface. We imported a lot of sweet crude because the refiners are set to run light crude, hence too much build. That's what Pippa Stevens says. Who is Pippa? Y'all remember Pippi Longstocking, type of 1? I am Pippi Longstocking. If you say it fast, it's funny. That goes to show my age. How many of you ever remember Pippi Longstocking? I don't know who Pippa Stevens is, but I know Pippi Longstocking. And everybody who types a 1, you're old. That's all I got. That's all I got to say. For all of you who typed a 1, I'll give you 3 for the price of 2. What are you talking about, Mark? As a commentator on CNBC, I got you. Do you think we will come through? Yeah, I don't think that we'll. Yes, to answer your question, we will come through. We will definitely come through. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right. Interesting story on that. Comcast Disney hire investment banks to value Hulu as a sale process makes progress. Interesting. Pepsi beats earnings. We posted this on our Twitter account, and someone says that Pepsi is better than Coke. Do you understand that Coke has got a renowned worldwide, everybody can tell a Coke bottle in the dark. Can't tell that about a Pepsi. You can't tell the difference between a Coke can and a Pepsi can in the dark. But you can tell a Coke bottle in the dark. Coca-Cola is world renowned. Pepsi will never catch them from that perspective. All right, I'm a Pepsi drinker. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Pepsi drinker, but I drink Pepsi Zero Sugar. But it's got aspartame in it, so I don't think that's good for diabetes. I don't think that's good for diabetes. Do not start a controversy before you go to the home of Coke. I know, and I've been to the home of Coke. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to the museum. I've been there. And I've tasted all those Cokes, different Cokes from all over the world. I think that's great. But I'm a Pepsi drinker. Go ahead and check the KO stock. Coca-Cola. It's Coca-Cola. I'll write that down. I'm going to give you some stocks to look at today. All right, what else is in here? Prescriptions for portfolio health. 3 resilient healthcare stocks. I put all 3 of these in here. Amgen, UNH, and Centene. We'll take a look at those. Why? Anybody see this stock today? OPGN type of 1. Anyone seen this stock today? OPGN type of 1. Stock is up over 500 freaking percent. Glenn, what about this Friday the 13th jihad thing? Which I don't know anything about that. I don't know what can we take a poll of Coke versus Pepsi? No, we can't take a poll. All right. Stock is up 540%. So I want to take a look. Why is it up? It's undergoing a massive rally following a couple of pieces of news. First is a progress update on the product sale. The company has received an advance payment of 750,000 euros for the sale of certain, that word, A50 systems by Curtis to a strategic partner. There it is. Opgen is working with a strategic partner on the sale, which includes Curtis and the company's subsidiary, Ares Genetic, to go along with. So they sold off something. And that stock is up a lot. Would I touch it? Probably not. And then another story, Broadcom's purchase of VMware. VMware is a big company. AVGO is buying them. Again, a lot of mergers and acquisitions because of higher inflation. Glenn, your show keeps getting better and better. Love the graphics. CNBC would call, but Kramer would be Joe. Any of the graphics, that's all Joey. That's all Joey. Big pullback on OPGN today. You know why? That's profit taking, Michael. That's all that is. That was big on the news, and now that's anybody who was in it. Remember yesterday's stock TPST? That stock is down bigly today too. All right, so those are my stories for today. I got them all into a watch list. Let's go peep the watch list. And there they are. Here's all of the stories. Here's all of the stocks. If I'm looking at all the stocks from the stories based on VST, SMCI is at the top of the list. Pepsi's at the bottom of the list. Somebody said, look at Coca-Cola. Let's go take a look at Coca-Cola. Where's Coca-Cola sit? Let's go look at towards the bottom of the list. Nobody gives a flying flip about soda. How about that? Did I just piss everybody in the room off? All you Pepsi and Coca-Cola people? Wasn't meant to do that. I'm looking at Coca-Cola, overvalued. I'm looking at Pepsi, overvalued. Coca-Cola at least has good upside potential. Why would Broadcom need China's approval? Well, that's a good point. Let's go take a look. Broadcom's planned more than 60 billion purchase of VMware. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Chinese antitrust approval. But why? Who cares? Well, you know something? What did I say about China? I said that China is the biggest buyer of things. China's State Administration for Market Regulation is expected to shortly approve the acquisition of All right, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Michael went off the farm and just said he goes with Dr. Pepper. You remember the song? I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, we're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Be a pepper, drink Dr. Pepper. How many of y'all remember that commercial? Type of one. All right. Who owns Frito-Lay? Any guesses? Does China? Jerry, you putting that out there that China owns Frito-Lay? I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Look at you people who are older. You remember those commercials. All right. Dr. Pepper is a Coke product. Is it really? Thank you, Janice, because I didn't know that. You know, everybody keeps buying up everybody else, so I don't know who fits under what umbrella. So Dr. Pepper is under Coke. Glenn, don't forget refugees drink Coca-Cola. Listen, that's fine. I'm a Pepsi drinker. No, guess again. Who owns Frito-Lay? Pepsi owns Frito-Lay. See, again, PepsiCo. You know something? It's hard. Anybody agree with that? It's hard to keep track with what chips and what water and what drinks, what umbrella they're under. It's hard. Look at that. Jerry said, good job, Fitz. It's hard for me to keep track. Anybody else in the same boat when it comes down to drinks and snacks? It's hard to keep track who owns what. So, I think most of us are 55 or older, says David. But I want to get the new people in here. That's why I keep telling you to share. So I keep telling you to share and get people into the room. I want to get the younger generation in here knowing what's going on. All right, so there's Coke and Pepsi both at the bottom. Eli Lilly, the news on their Crohn's progress. I like it. The other, we looked at in that story about health drugs, CNC, Amgen, and UNH. Notice how they all fall right in line by VST. The VSTs are right around in the same spot. Healthcare drugs, healthcare companies, look at them. Double-digit earnings growth, fundamentally sound. You're looking for stocks to get into? Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at those three stocks in particular. Healthcare stocks, put it on 3. And let's go back to my other layout. Let's go to graph layout. Let's go to MPI. Wow, UNH. Anybody asking me for stocks to look into? I like that. Look at that. Terrence says, nope, early 30s. I like that. I like that. Look at that. New 3-month high. Early, look at that signal. Look at the signal and trend started pretty much at the same time by way of the MPI. Almost. Actually, trend kicked in before signal. I like the play. What about Centene? A little bit more volatile in the move, but trend is in place, getting better, and the signal hit. I wouldn't buy it today. I'd never want you to buy on a down day. And what else? If I'm looking for confirmation, this is a 3-month graph. Let's wait. Look at that. It's a beautiful level of resistance at 71.61. Let's go 12 cents higher than that before you purchase it if you're not in it. Amgen, bottom left, top right, a lot less volatile. Got in, the trend had been there all this time, and RT just gave a signal. Who was the one that was asking me about give you some stock ideas? I just gave you 3 right there. I gave you at least 2 out of 3 right there. Who am I, the only one who knew the Dr. Pepper song? No, other people type 1, they knew. You weren't the only one, Bobby. NVO also had an article on preventing kidney disease in type 2. Ooh, thank you for that, Linda. I'm going to put that on one of the stocks that we're going to look at today. I like that. I like when major drug companies come out with phase 3 news. You get short-term an opportunity to make some money. Now, Netflix, YouTube beating out Netflix. Let me show you something about Netflix, even before that story came out. Let me show you a little something about Netflix. I think our channel could beat out Netflix right about now, but it ain't. You know why? Because you don't share it. All right, so I got to say about that. I think we could beat out Netflix. I think VV Nation could beat out Netflix. Look at that. YouTube beat it out. YouTube beat them out as far as teen viewers. Netflix looks like it's in a little bit of trouble. UNH reports earnings tomorrow. I like that stock, Dennis. I showed you on the graph. I like that stock. So even before the news came out about YouTube, Netflix has been poopy. NVO article gave Lilly a nice kick. Thank you, Fitz. All right, what else is in here? Oil. We want to talk about oil. I showed you that we found X amount of barrels. Oil is, I don't know how we do that. I don't know how that happens. How do we miraculously find oil? Akshaya says because demand, that we overproduce. I'll go with that for the time being. I don't know if I fully am on board with that, but I will tell you this. I did get out of my WTI trade. I think, though, I might have picked up another oil play. WTI just wasn't making it happen. I might have gotten into USO. I don't know. The trend is there on USO. I know it's pulling back, but the trend is there on USO. Probably should wait for a signal to get in, but I'm still long-term long on oil. Now, let me tell you why. All right. If we find, this is Glenn talking again. All right. Everybody listening? Yes or no? Everybody listening? Because this is going to be a key point with oil. We are underproducing oil, which means oil prices should be going up. But is everybody listening? Yes or no? Mark's not listening? Fine. This is with the war that we got going on with Israel. I think that if Israel decides at some point in time, because a lot of people are saying Iran was behind all of this, if Israel goes and drops some bombs on Iran, holy smokes, oil is going to shoot through the roof. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? All right, do you agree with that? Yes or no? Now, I say that because the trend is still intact on oil. I say that, I see it's falling back. But if any of the oil producing countries get involved in this war and Israel says, yo, Iran, we got proof that you did this, and starts going to blow up their refineries, holy smoke, oil is going to explode. All right. So that's a big factor for me in regards to oil right now. Trend is still intact. The moving averages are converging, but trend is still intact. So I'm just putting that out there. And Jerry says, 1, on the short term. I think that if this is a prolonged war, because now if you go and Iran gets involved What other oil producing countries could be like, oh, heck no. So I'm watching that. I'm watching that closely. Delta Airlines, I'm not a big fan. You beat earnings by 60%, put on a 3-month graph. So what? I think that was a piece to be like, yeah, we're rocking. Go and buy our stock. Nope, not doing it. Not at this juncture. Wouldn't be prudent. So Delta can put out the story about they beat, and it's not just the story they did. But I'm still not feeling airlines. There's OPGN, big move up. View the stock graph. This is all going to be profit. That's all profit taking. The stock closed yesterday at 33 cents. It went up as high as $1.15. I don't know what percentage that. Oh, what is that? 500%? It was 500%. It gave us interesting. Wow. I need somebody to test this out. I am going to start to go through lower dollar drug stocks on the MPI. Look at that. Got you in. Interesting. On 929 when it was at 40 cents. Trend never hit. But could this be a precursor to a lot of these low dollar drugs? Anybody following right there? Very interesting. I haven't put this into practice yet, but I want somebody. I'm very interested if I can get somebody to do a little bit of research on these stocks. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. He will keep you in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on him. Amen for that. Thank you very much for that. Very interesting. I'm going to start looking at this. You like the casinos, right, Glenn? Ronnie, I'm just saying. Wow. I'm just saying. It's something to look into. And let's say you put $100 behind that. Let's just say you put $100 behind that. What would that $100 come out to be on that big move like that? Anybody? 500%. Would it have been a $500 make? Yes? Somebody back me up on that? That would have been a $100 investment to make $500 in a couple of weeks. That would be interesting. So Ronnie says, you like the casinos, right? I love this setup. Let's go look at my other setup. When did the 3A cross? The 3A crossed the same. Oh, no. Yeah, the 3A crossed the same day. Look at that. On big volume. Hey now. Something. It's just, listen, this is what you're here for, right? The power of the VectorVest software. Holy smokes. That MPI is killer, folks. You got to be a subscriber to have it, though. 99 cents. See that poll up there? 99 cents. Something to consider. All right. And when it comes down to Super Micro being at the top of the list, you say, holy smokes, that's too expensive. How about SOXL, which plays the semiconductors? Let's go take a look at it. Put this on a 3-month graph. This is getting ready. Look at that. We got an early signal on it. Trend is not in place, but look at the move up and look at the signal. Yesterday, you showed TPST. Do you really think retail buyers cashed out $300,000 for every 100 they put in? No, Mike. I don't. It's crazy that we just got an up call last night and down it goes. I don't know how accurate this is. Frank? It's accurate. It did what it was supposed to do. So what made the market go down today, Fred? It's Fred Frank. You got two first names. It was the CPI news. I got nothing to predict what news is going to affect the market. All right, so Jerry says, OPGN coincidental. Can you show us other hits like that? I'm going to work on something like that, Jerry. I think I'm going to have a super speculative CPI and PPI. Thank you, Bill. I think I'm going to have a super speculative list and I'm going to use the MPI and we're going to take a look at it. How about that, Jerry? Richard says, Glenn, your special presentation of the last Friday using the MPI was terrific. Have you traded in 3 and 8 for the MPI? No, I use both. I like them both. And a lot of times the 3 and the 8 and the MPI pretty much go hand in hand. Pretty much go hand in hand. I think, Jerry, I'm thinking that I might make a super speculative watch list for Thursdays, just for Thursdays. And see how that works out. All right, and see how that works out. Can you share how TPST can do that? Because it may be telling other stocks to move. So let's go back. I'm going to do that real quick. I got to get your stocks. Let's go look at TPST. TPST. We're going to be able to see the big move on it, right? On this one, nope, it didn't happen until the day of. All right, we got trend. It didn't happen until the day of. So it wouldn't have worked here. It wouldn't have worked here. Does that mean, who asked me that? Mike. So that wouldn't have worked there. But I am going to, I think, Joey, put it in the chat, our chat, that for Trending Thursday, I'm going to make a super speculative MPI list. It's going to be stocks less than $1. It's going to be super speculative. For those of you who want to take a look at that, I'll have a really small segment on that. How about that? Y'all guys good with that? Yes or no? All right? Yes or no? I like that idea of it. It'll only be about a minute segment. It'll only be about a minute segment of stocks that I found, super low dollar stocks that I found, probably less than $1, utilizing the MPI. All right, so only 2 people said yes, so maybe I'm not going to do it. Fine. No. It's too late now. It's too late now. Y'all want to take your little time and answer the question, then I ain't going to do it. How about that? Cash me outside. All right. So with that being said, I probably will. Joey put it in the comments, stock less than $1. Love playing super speculative stocks. Again, like XROF, right, Mark? Was TPST all manipulation, all I'm asking? I don't know. It was some news behind it. I don't remember what the news was behind it. It definitely probably was some news behind it. Bill says, did you count my, Jerry says, yeah, I counted your yes. You guys take forever to answer the questions. Wednesday, you said you were going to do what you wanted to do. I am. RXRX is going to be in my video tomorrow too. It's going to be in my video tomorrow too. So the main reason why people are not taking the 99-cent trial, because you guys are already subscribed. You know what that means? You guys need to invite people to the channel. We talk about that all the time. Like, share. You got to do that. You got to do that. All right. All right. Last but not least, let's go take a look at your stocks. I'm only doing 10 stocks. I'm only doing 10 stocks today. All right. Michael, whatever. You ain't got no Teton. You can't even freaking play golf. You suck at golf. I've seen you play. TPST board passed poison pill, and that they also released positive phase 3 intermediate data on their liver. Yeah, it was definitely news driven. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did you really put? I thought it was Colby. 8, 9. I'm not going to look at SMCI, Mark. We already looked at it. GSK, 10. There's my stocks. All right. There's my stocks. Let's go put them on 3 month. I'm not going to do hot or not. I think that's going to save that for when me and Ryan are on. RXRX, super speculative play. So now, Michael, who just put RX? Who put that up there? I told you that was a super speculative play when I first got it, right? But if I'm looking at it from the I saw the RXRX up there. Dang it. Anyway, if I'm looking at it from an MPI perspective, even though it was super speculative, the MPI said no. Who was that? You, Mike, that asked me about it? I liked the play based on the news that it was hooking up with NVIDIA. I share every time I come on. Thank you, Furby. We own a little RXRX. So, man, you gotta either feel comfortable that it's going to move because of the collaboration with NVIDIA, or you leave it alone. One of the two. Does that make sense, Bill? Does that make sense? Glenn, are you concerned about those stocks that do not meet the NASDAQ requirements? No. NASDAQ's about 4,300 stocks. If you want to put all the stocks in there, that'd be a different story. And it's tech stocks. No, I'm not always that concerned with stocks that don't meet NASDAQ requirements. All right. So I'd be careful with RXRX. I still like the play. I don't own it right now. I still like the play, but I think I need some semblance of an entry. CME. Look at that move. I like that. I like that stock, and I cannot lie. Okay, anyway. Bottom left, top right. It's got trend in place. It got you out during here, got you back in. It's hitting a new 3-month high. I like the play. I'd make sure I'd buy it 12 cents higher than the high, though. ACGL, Arch Capital, Insurance. I like Aflac better. I do like Aflac. I like Prudential. Who's the girl? Who's the flow girl? What is that? It's not Prudential. What is that? Can I put up earnings per share? Sure. Wow, look at that. That looks beautiful. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Progressive. I do like Progressive too. All right, ACGL. Yes, it's higher than it was 3 months ago, but a lot of sideways move. I think that I could find a better stock in the insurance space. Who gave me ACGL? Let me go back and see. Who gave me ACGL? Ronnie. Does that make sense, Ronnie? I think that there's probably better stocks in this space. All right? But I do like, and don't get me wrong, look at this. I like that. I like the trend, but I think that there's probably better stocks in the space, right, by way of price action. Let's go to the next stock, Palantir. Oof. I own Palantir again. I did when I got the signal here. That's when I purchased Palantir again. I think that out of the whole space, the AI machine learning space, the data space, Palantir is better than Snowflake in my mind. All right. Tony says ACGL technicals are good. All right. The technicals can be good, and that's fine. But would you rather buy into a stock that overall for the last 3 months is pretty sideways, or buy into stocks that are just continuing to rise? Choice is yours. I'm not hating you. I'm not berating you for that. I think I think that this space is a good space, as we saw in that article. The space is a good space. I'd probably just look for something better. And earnings per share looks good. Looks really good. All right, Palantir. That's another thing that I like about Palantir is that it keeps making money, keeps getting all these contracts. Little sideways move right now, but trend is in play. Trend is in play, and we got a signal. All right, no, man. It's going to take a long time for them to overcome what they went through, and they did it to themselves. That's all I'm going to say about that. They did this to themselves. I mean, let's go back 5 years. Damn. I thought I was going to see a different picture. They still did it to themselves. They even before Mulvaney, they still did it to themselves. That's all I got to say about that. Let's go to the next one. UPC. Nope. Big move today. And look at that give back. Big move today. Look at that give back. Interesting, though, if I was looking at this from the entry point, remember we were talking about that low dollar stocks? There's the entry. It was at 151. That would have been something, and it went up to 207. That would have been the day to get out. The signal was in place. So again, there it is. There's the signal. You had to ride that down. That sucked. No trend, but the signal was there and it never got you out. You could have. That's another stock that looks like it could have gotten you some money. Wow, TBT. That's the short side. Bonds, the bond issue again, this may not be a bad play. Even on the pullback, because this was the short side, look at that. Trend never went away. How about you never got an exit signal? I'm loving this idea. The MPI does such a great thing. Do you guys agree? Yes or no? You agree that the power behind this indicator, this graph, is amazing? Yes or no? And in order to get this graph layout, you can put it on any stock that you own. In order to get this layout, you got to have the VectorVest software. You got to have the VectorVest software. I love this play. I love being able to look at any of my stocks in this graph and go, wow. MPI and 3 and 8 EMA. I use them both. All right, next one. Columbia Banking. I like the move up. No trend though. I'm getting a signal. You know what I'd be looking for? Even if I got a signal, I'm gonna overemphasize that. You know something? It did break through the downtrend. A little bit of a shooting star follow through. Let's see if it can stay above that trend line. It is getting a signal. It is giving a signal. Could be onset, especially if banks will start reporting. I just did a video on defense stocks. This was one of the plays, DFEM. I'm not concerned about this play until it fades the gap. This was the war. This was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Till it fades, I still think this is fresh and new. Entry point is there. I would never buy on a down day, though. But until that gap is faded, I'm okay with this. I still think we got a lot of ways to go in this war. And GlaxoSmithKline, what was the news? Somebody had to give me the news on it. It gapped down. The news wasn't. I'll check the news real quick. What did the news say? It was down 1%. Global CAR T-cell therapy market projected to reach $83 billion. Was that got to do with? That's got nothing to do with it. Partners with this 3 days ago, Zephy, to boost singles vaccine availability in China. Okay, that was 3 days ago. 1, 2, 3, and then today. Got trend though, and it's got a signal. I wouldn't buy on a down day though. If I want more confirmation, I'd look at buying higher than the 3-month high. Little volatile in the move too. Little volatile in the move. All right. That was a lot of stuff. And that was a lot of stuff. How is the best way to learn more about trading contras? We got contras back and forth. Good, positive no, there's no such thing as a positive contra. About trading contras. When the market moves down, contras go up. But I would, if you're new to trading contrarian ETFs, I would stick to non-leverage. And if you go in the VectorVest system and look under ETFs, you can find non-leverage contra ETFs. If you're brand new, that would be my my guidance to you. I see INO, huge volume 2 days ago. That's fine. What's the name of this layout? That layout is called the Near Perfect Indicator, or NPI. It is in the VectorVest system for everybody. If you're a subscriber, you have, and you go to graphs, you have that layout. And you can look at that layout on any stock you own. Mark says, see you tomorrow in Atlanta. Yes, sir. We're looking forward to it. Look, and thank you for, did you realize that you sent me 2 boxes yesterday? Not just one. I got them yesterday. Did you realize you sent me 2 boxes? Thank you so much for that. Holy smokes. I wasn't expecting that. That was like, wow. Mark makes sure that I stay up on Cafe Bustelo. You saw I was drinking it today. G Dave says, be safe and best wishes for your daughter. Thank you very much for that, Dave. G Dave. I gotta go. Thank you guys for being here. For those of you who are going to Atlanta, Steve, Jim, and I will be live at the live event in Atlanta. It is not recorded. So if you want to see us live, great opportunity to do that. For those of you who are subscribers, it's a great spot to get the best pricing that we have on everything that we have. All right. So I will not be doing the mobile stream tomorrow. Ryan will be, but I am going to record Friday's video. You want to watch it. You want to watch it. All right. I'm driving from Augusta. Are you really, Carol? Awesome. Thank you so much for coming to see us. You're the one that keeps wanting me to sing, so I want to meet you. And when I meet you, I will sing loudly for you in a quiet way. I will sing loudly in a quiet way. How about Carol? You always ask me to sing out, so I will see you and I will sing. I will say, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, Aquarius. All right. Joey doesn't want me to sing. All right, but that's what I'm going to say. I just changed my mind, says Mark. No, Mark, no. All right, I got to go, folks. Have a great weekend. Don't forget tomorrow's video. Don't forget tonight's video. Ryan's putting out a video tonight at 6 p.m. as well. Joey says it got canceled. Glenn, what time does it start in Atlanta? It starts at 9 a.m. and it runs until 1 p.m. So we won't even take up your whole day. We won't even take up your whole day. Solo, we can't hear you, please, says Mike. All right. Later. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii, especially in Maui. Bon dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.